Yo, what is going on, you guys? I'm here back again with my boy Rob. Rob, it has been forever, man. Why don't you start off by saying hi to the nice people at home?
Hello, people at home that are currently watching the video. It feels good to say that it has been too long.
It's been a while. Was it 2-3 months?
It's been about 2-3 months, but ironically, the last time that we did a video, it was on the cats, the Eevees, the Eeveelutions, you know,
Eeveelutions.
and nothing has changed except we got a new Eeveelution.
Ah, the black one.
We got the actual Umbreon versus this was fake Umbreon. This was like if you play the new game, this is terrestrialized Umbreon. This is an actual this is Umbreon, and we got Leafeon, Sylveon, and Glaceon. So we got the whole gang together, all tried and true.
That's what's up.
But in all honesty, I think this deck is just like super strong. I tried playing Cash for a little bit. That deck does not like me as much as it likes Sebastian. I played it for about 2 or 3 locals before DUNE came out, and I either couldn't play through Book of Moon or I couldn't play through an Imperm. So I just said, yeah, this deck is not it for me. And I was trying the cat deck before DUNE with One Delicious, and I was like, all right, this seems like it's there. I'll just wait for the new XYZ to come out, and then I played it this last weekend at the GC 3v3. We didn't do it as well as we'd like to. I think I had a little bit more rust on me than I thought I did. Plus, we went in playing like a rogue deck, Kashtira and Purrely. So if I'm rusty and Kashtira is a 50-50, even like in a good player's hands.
You're playing a rogue deck? What was a rogue deck?
Dragons. I call dragons a rogue deck. I don't think that deck
That's not really a rogue. Come on now.
I just don't think that deck is real. Like
it's a top 6 deck.
Keyword on 6th. But anyway, but yeah. So we were doing that, and then I played at a local immediately after, and they had gone so weirdly that I was tilted and was misplaying, but the list itself was just like super solid and super streamlined. So I'm just gonna get into it really quickly.
Yeah, man,
so we have 3 yellow and 3 black. These cards are crazy. This being able to get you either any of the what's it called? This being able to get you the field spell, the continuous spell, or the trap is just crazy. And then also in certain hands that are like kind of weird, you can normal summon this and search for one of the monsters as well, because searches for any non-quick play Purrely card. So in weird scenarios, you can always search a follow-up, or you can search like a way to play around boards, or to search something that's consistent.
Oh, because the new XZs also gets you the trap, right? It sets it from your deck or something.
The new XYZ, so all the Purrelys have an effect that when you activate a spell, you can or a Purrely quick play spell, you can chain it like a Paleo, like immediately response, attach it, and then do something. So Baby Noir, which is the Umbreon, it sets a trap directly from your deck. So that you always have a way usually to get to the trap, but this being able to search the trap so you can have a free discard is really good, because the trap is the best discard. Since we're not playing a discard engine anymore, because you need non-engine cards.
Right.
So we played Droll, Ash, and 2 Nibiru. So
Nibiru back in the main, okay.
Yeah, I just always like Nibiru. I think I played 3 Nibiru for the 3v3, but I cut the 3rd for the 3rd Purrely field spell. That's just because certain the decks right now kind of don't play around Nibiru because they're putting up Baron pretty early. But if you have Nibiru plus another hand trap like Ash or Imperm, they'll usually just fold anyway. And this card's super good against Cash, and this card's super good against like a lot of the rogue decks in general. So I thought this card was fine to main, and I wanted 5 high impact hand traps to draw off of my sleeping memories to be able to like get good advantage, because most of the time they can't out the Noir, and if they do out the Noir, then if you Nibiru them, it's specifically when they book a Moon, your XYZ, you don't get to rank up. So like let's say you have a Plum and they book a Moon you, so you book it and then you Nibiru them. If you can flip the Plump, you can just make a Noir anyway. so you don't like really lose anything because Nibiru doesn't show you face down monsters. So Nibiru is really good when your stuff gets Pokemon.
There you go.
That's it for the monsters. Then for spells, we got max out on all the memories.
Of course.
So 3 pretty, 3 sleepy, 3 happy, 1 delicious. I was so sad when they hit this, but like, with the baby noir, it doesn't even matter now. Like your OTKs are like a little bit harder, but like you could still OTK with happy or with the happy XYZ. And sleepy in memory is like the best card in this deck, or the second best card. The best card in the deck is the field spell now. But sleepy memory, the fact that now you can this turn make an XYZ that's also really good is just insane, because you get to, if you resolve a sleepy memory, that gets you to the continuous spell, which gets you to Lily, which gets you to the continuous spell. Then the continuous spell can get you to another sleepy memory or the field spell. And then if you get depending on what you get off that gets you to the trap, and then the trap gets you to Noir. So that automatically gets you your 4-card draw, as well as the trap set up, and then the field spell and the continuous spell set up. So like this card having an XYZ is just like absolutely bonkers.
Right. At the worst case scenario, you're drawing 2.
Yeah, and
which is still nuts.
Which is still insane. Then 3 My Friend and 3 Stray. I believe I was only playing one of this in the old list, but this card has since become so strong because of how prevalent targeting effects have become between Book of Moon, Impermanence, Beauty. Because this card is a mid-breaker field. If you ever played back in like the Gogi days, the turn that Purrely monsters are special summon, they can't be targeted. So against Kashtira going second, they can't Fenrir you, they can't Rise Heart you, they can't Book of Moon you, they can't Imperm you. Like this card just says, I'm gonna crack your board for free. This card also plays around XYZ Encore if you're going second, which that's a very strong card against this deck. But if you go activate Stray, and then start playing, the XYZ Encore doesn't do anything to you. And then this also just gives you follow up, and it gives you more advantage because you can equip the spells from the deck, and then you can also just like get Purrely's back when you when the Purrely XYZs die. So if you have both these set up, it's just an FTK.
True.
Then I played 2 Pot of Prosperity and 1 Talent. This was another thing I changed. Originally, it was 3 Pot. Talents is insane in this deck because it's also a Zeus deck. So if you just start cracking a Kashtira board, you can just activate Talents, take their stuff, make Zeus, and then you just kill them. Or you can just draw 2 cards. Like I played in the 3v3, and I'll play against like Punk Kashtira, and I drolled him. He looked at my hand, and it was Delicious, Field Spell, Dark Ruler, and I forgot what the last card was, but let's just say it was I think it was like Cosmic Cyclone. He ripped the Dark Ruler because if I Dark Ruler and top deck a spell, I win the game, but I top deck Talents. So I went activate Field Spell. He negated I activated his field spell, he let it resolve. Then I activated Delicious, he negated it, and then I Talents drew 2 quick play spells and killed him. Just because I would rip the Talents. And in that list, this was a 1-of. So if this card is that strong, I should be playing more of it. So that's why we cut the 3rd Prosperity. And like this card will brick you more often, or this card, you don't want to really like take the versatility out of your extra deck with the rank 1s, because the rank 1s and the link monsters you play are really strong.
So, I mean, are you considering taking out the 2 Prosperity, just playing 3 Talents at that point?
Oh god, no. The Prosperity is too crazy. Because the thing that Prosperity does is when you get bad RNG off your Purrely, the Prosperity says, alright, whatever you didn't hit, you are going to hit now. So it basically gives you 12 excavations, because it's 3/3 and then 6 off Prosperity. But it was just, I'd rather have 1 Talent in my main deck versus the 3rd Prosperity in my main deck. Because there are certain times I was playing and I'm just like, damn, I kind of want to side out Prosperity.
Damn.
Yeah. And then Triple Book of Moon, this card is super strong, just going into everything. This stops the Noir from coming out. It's really good against Kashtira and Rise Heart. It's really good against the Synchro decks. Like this card is just bonkers. And then Triple Imperm, because this is the best hand trap going second. It doesn't play into talents. And it's a card that you can rip going second that like interacts well into your opponent's board.
Are both your Pokemoons and Imperms ulti?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Carry on, please.
No problem.
I knew the Imperms were ulti. I didn't know you had the Book of Moons as well. That's busted.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
That's new. And I played 2 of the Leap. Even though you have an XYZ that gets to them now, having this card as like a good discard is really good. And then having the ability to sack into a Noir on your opponent's turn after cracking a board is really good. Because this is how you end up making double Noir. Because on your turn 2, you can make an infinite material happy memory or happy XYZ, and then you can just set the Leap, and then if you can make another XYZ, you use the happy that you made to make Noir, and then you use this to make the second Noir. So you can make 2 unaffected Noirs when you play 2 of the trap. So the deck is the Rob Special 41, no more, no less. If I play a number other than 41, it's an imposter.
Not a real deck.
It's not a real Rob deck if it's not 41.
Pokemon.
Wait, 11?
That's Pokemon, not even the right card game.
Facts. For the extra deck, we got 2 Beauty. This card is I knew this card was crazy, but this card is crazy. It's an effect negation. The memory is a snatch, is a suck up. Like this card's crazy. And then its attach effect is to switch monsters to attack or switch monsters battle position. So this lets you go for game shots if they thought they were safe. Double happiness. I did not talk about how broken this card was the first time we did the deck profile. Right. I was so focused on how broken Plump is. This card is the best card in this deck. It lets you go for games. It lets you go for infinite material Noirs. It lets you go for OTKs. It lets you spin back rows. So if you're playing against like Labyrinth, this card just shits on the Labyrinth matchup. This lets you go for OTKs, clear boards. Like this card is like the second best card in this extra deck in my opinion. Like this. Like, I did not respect this card that much. Like, I think I only played 1 in the other profile, and then talked about it for 30 seconds. Like, no, this card is bonkers. 1 Plump, because the Delicious at 1, so you're not really going into it that often. And I feel like the Purrely Noir kind of supplements it, because you're going into this most of your turn ones, and you never really need a second one. So what this one does, because this is the only new card that I really have to explain, is it uses Sleeping Memory as, or I mentioned Sleeping Memory, so that's how you, like, hard summon it. It is you can discard a card, then target 1 card your opponent controls, or 2 if you have Sleeping Memory attached to it, and then you bounce them to hand. So this is basically a Brio if you have Sleeping Memory under it. So it's not a quick effect, which kind of sucks, but like a discard 1 to spin 2 is like insanity. And then the attach effect is to set a trap. So it has good applications going first. And it has good applications going second. Like this card is absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then Double Noir, the towers. This card is just absurd. Princess Sprite. I've seen people play the second Purrely Noir over this. This card hits Floodgates. This card's hit Purrely spells. This card's hits Book of Moon and Imperm. Like I was in testing, the amount of times this hit Prosperity or Summon Limit was absurd. So like you're always playing Princess Sprite. Then Slacker Magician, because if they try to target it, you just negate it. So this card's really good to deal with a Rise Heart, and then it can't be destroyed by battle. It's also a light too, so you can just go 2 Purrelys into Zeus, which comes up sometimes if you're playing into like Gozen. Downard, because more materials. Right. Double Zeus, Anima, and Azalea. You throw a lot of spells in your grave, so this just becomes a free pop. And then what's really cool is when you crack boards, you can Anima take something, then use a Purrely and Anima to make Azalea, and then pop another card, and then attack, banish a card, or banish a spell, pop another card, and then attack a third card. Like these cards in combination just clear up a lot of monsters through D barrier, which I think is good. The only other card I wanted to play was Scareclaw Tryhard, which is the Link 3 for Scareclaw, because he's a Baguska. Like he switches everything to defense, and then it's unaffected by stuff that's in defense. So you just you don't have to worry about Zeus, and you don't have to worry about when you get debarriered, you can just like make that guy, because you just go through like 2 Purrelys and a what's his face, and a Purrely. But I just didn't have space for it, and no one had the card. And then the side, because the side was kind of spicy.
Alright. First.
Kurikara, because this card destroys Kashtira and the mirror. So I wanted as many outs to Noir as possible. So we have 3 Kurikara, 2 Triple Tactics Thrust, Herald of the Abyss. So you have 6 outs to Noir, both side. Because if they drop cards, which most of the time they will, you just Thrust search Herald of the Abyss, the Noir. They get back all the advantage, which is fine, but that means they don't have an unaffected Noir, you can kill them. I was talking to Sebastian about playing XYZ Encore instead of this, because you can shotgun that in the draw phase, so they don't get to any draws. So I have to test that once I get the XYZ Encore. But the downside is you don't get to play like the flexibility spots. Like you can't just play 1 Dark Ruler and 1 D Barrier because of Thrust. But I feel like that's fine because this card also plays into draw really hard, even though you can set stuff. Like if I'm going second, I'm already gonna get drolled most of the time, so this is another card I just can't activate most of the time. And I don't want to set a card when I'm going second. I want to add a card so I can try to crack the board. And then the other one I played with Duster and Talons. I already talked about how broken this card is. Duster is one of the craziest spells we ever had. Dark Really just for combo decks like Sprite, and Barrier just because like, you know, a lot of synchro decks. But I didn't, the reason I didn't play more barriers is because I played Summon Limit, because I think this is my favorite Floodgate ever. Like, this card just says no. Like, they just summon twice and you just know. And then, because of the way that the deck works, or this deck works, is you can always make a beauty in 2 summons, which is, and if the beauty has Pretty Memory attached, you can just send the Summon Limit and target a card that they control and attach it. So you always have an engine out to your own Summon Limit, which I think is really strong. And then the last 2 cards are Double Cosmic Cyclone, just for general back row hits field spells like the Cash Field spell, hits the Strain, hits the field spell and the Purrely Mirror, and it's just really all in all just good against back row decks.
Right.
So that is the August deck, or July, technically, no, not August deck of the month, because I already know it's coming for August. I don't know if Sebastian's ready for it.
Well, it's getting uploaded in August technically, but we'll backtrack it for you. We'll backtrack it for you. Because we got some hella heat coming in August for sure.
Yes. I just peeped that it now is August 1st. Spoiler alert, guys. At least for me, it's August 1st. Time travel.
Oh, snap, it is August 1st for you.
So, but yeah, this is the Purrely deck of them. Purrely deck. This is the deck I'll probably be playing the most going forward, because this deck is just a lot of fun too. You just always get to reveal the top 3. The way this deck plays into boards is absolutely absurd, and the way this deck like just cracks boards is like the craziest deck I've ever seen. So, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this deck, and I think this deck is like, if you do have the chance to play this deck, I would highly recommend it. Like, I know some of the stuff is kind of expensive, like with the My Friends and these guys and the Purrelys themselves, but like if you can scrap together this deck, I would highly recommend it, because this deck is just a lot of fun to play.
Alright, so that's good. It might be a little bit too technical for me, but we're definitely gonna be checking that out, man. Can't wait to start play testing with this deck as well. So I mean, anyway, this deck is obviously going to be by far one of the best decks of the format. After, I think, even with Kashtira still being in the format, I think this deck is very, very highly competitive. It can clearly go ahead and take on some of the best decks out there. Do you think that Kashtira needs to get banned slapped before this deck becomes the best deck?
No, I think this deck is already going to be the best deck. So like the thing about Kashtira is that like it's very streamlined what it does, and there's a lot of cards that you can side to out it. Like if you look at my side deck, right? If you look at my side deck, Kurikara deals with the Rise Heart. Thrust into any of these cards deal with the Rise Heart. And then I also was talking about XYZ Encore, that deals with the Rise Heart. So their scariest boss monster gets folded by these 9, as well as 3 Book of Moon and Imperm and Nibiru. So I think, and Nibiru. And the deck has too many consistency issues. With this deck, all of your spells are E-Teles. So in your worst hand, you're still gonna be able to activate an E-Telly to get you to Lily, to get you to the continuous spell, to get you to Sleepy, that gets you to Purrely Noir. Where the hell is it? To Purrely Noir, that gets you a trap and follow up. Like,
True.
That's a bad hand. Like, so I think this deck is already projected to be the best deck. Like, I was looking at the remote duel YCS that just happened this last weekend, and I think in top 8, it was like 6 Purrely, 1 Labyrinth, one Kashtera. Like,
all right, so
I
it's
don't
already
think that
on the way.
Huh?
I said it's already on the way. It's already there.
Yeah. Like the new guy is crazy. So, but hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you had any changes or any recommendations, please let me know on the bottom and please let me know in the comments. And
yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. We got plenty more deck profiles coming up, especially some special sauce, special heat, I should say, indication of what might be to come for next week. We shall see. But make sure you guys stick around for that, and we'll see you guys in the next one.